My name is Mark Peel. I'm from Bombo in Grand Central Market. Today we're going to show you how to make a vegan broth. It's one of our broths that we use in a lot of different things. It's really rich and flavorful, kind of spicy, completely vegan. It's great. You're going to enjoy this. There we go. Garlic. Garlic. Vegan. With anything vegan, the challenge is always to get flavor into it because you don't have the richness of meat. And garlic is great for giving richness and depth and complexity of flavor. So we just slice like this. We want to have it chunky and pretty, not a puree. Here's an onion. Big, beautiful onions. I love onions. Sounds odd, you know, but onions have naturally a very high in kind of sugars. Doesn't seem like it because they also have a little bit of sulfur, which gives you that pungency. But when you cook the onions, they turn sweet and mellow and delicious. That's why you have onions in almost anything. And that's why you can caramelize onions, because what you're caramelizing is the sugar. Nice fresh mushrooms, good old, let's see, in French they would be a champignon de Paris, or, you know, Parisian mushrooms, which is your regular old supermarket white mushrooms. But they're delicious, have wonderful fresh flavor. They don't have the depth of flavor that a dried mushroom does, but together they give you like this whole like rich mushroom flavor, and that's really important when you're doing vegan dishes because you need the richness. Do the carrot now. Here we have the carrot. See, I'm going to do it this way. We don't even need to peel the carrot if we do it this way, like this. You see? Carrots. Carrots are naturally high in sugar as well. If you ever go into the store and you go and you buy some cured meats, and it says on the package, no added nitrates. Why? Because, again, nitrates have gotten a bad reputation. I think there's nothing wrong with them in moderation. However, if you see something that says no added nitrates, you look on the list of ingredients, there will always be celery. Why? Because celery is a food that is naturally high in nitrates. If you add celery to cured meats, it will prevent spoilage. Now, dried mushrooms are quite different from fresh mushrooms. They have a richer flavor, and I don't know why. No one's ever explained it to me properly. Well, so we just have to accept it as is. Someone must know. Anyhow, and when you reconstitute them, they still retain the added richness from the drying process. They're very naturally high in umami. Very high in umami, which means it's high in natural glutamate compounds. This is seaweed, which comes dried, normally. It always comes dried. And this is also very, very high in glutamates. In fact, I believe that MSG was discovered in seaweed processing. If you ever see a seaweed, dried seaweed, sometimes it looks like it has a little powdery coating of salt on it. It's not salt. It actually is naturally occurring MSG. Okay. It's a really, really rich flavor. The vegan broth would not be the vegan broth without this combo. So it is probably the most essential ingredient in a vegan broth. And the first thing we're going to start with, and this is very important, is the dried, reconstituted, and then sliced shiitake mushrooms. Because what we're going to do is we're going to put these in a really hot pan with a little bit of oil, and we'll let them sit and cook so that they char just a little bit. Now that's going to bring out some richness, give a little smokiness to it. After that's done, then we start adding all the rest of the ingredients, and all the moisture from the kombu and the celery and the onions and the carrots and so on and so forth is going to drop the temperature of the bottom, and so they'll sweat instead of charring. So that prevents anything from burning. All right? Then, when those are all nice and sweated, and by sweating I mean it's drawn out the moisture and reduce their size a little bit, then we add the liquid that we use to reconstitute the kombu and the liquid we use to reconstitute the mushrooms. Those are really important components because there's a lot of flavor in that water. And then we'll bump it up with a little bit more water, and then we'll add our spice package, which is salt and pepper and a little achiote in there and all kinds of stuff. Okay, so let's go and do that. We need oil. Resist the temptation, which happens all the time. People want to, oh, I gotta stir it. No, don't stir it. Don't touch it. Let it sit. Now, okay, here we go. Look at that. That's good. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. See, there's the color. There's the color right there. Now we're going to go in and we're going to put the mushrooms in. Okay? Mushrooms have a lot of water in them, so it's going to drop the temperature. Okay. Celery. There we go. Celery. Carrots. There come the colors. Here we go. Garlic. Sliced garlic. And then our kombu. Last thing. Here we go. Ooh. Okay, we have about 8 cups of the kombu liquid in there, because I ran a little bit short. 9 cups of the shiitake liquid, water really, and about 9 cups of water. Really, it takes a lot of chopping and dicing and everything like sauteing, so you might as well make a large batch. In here there's crushed red pepper, there's black pepper, salt, a little bit of sumac, and some crushed red pepper. I'm not going to put all of this in. So when this is done, which will be in about an hour because it needs to simmer for an hour, really to bring all the disparate flavors together. You know, the sum is greater than the whole. The sum of the parts is greater than the whole. Yes, that's true. Of this broth. Completely vegan, super rich, super delicious. I love this broth. And if I weren't so lazy, I'd make it at home all the time. Luckily, I can get it at work.